Yeah, triangles is your chapter name, and I wanted to make the chapter map first. Yes, Mansa, you wanted something? Chapter map, yeah. I'm making chapter map. You are not familiar with that. We made in linear equations also in quadratic. Basically, all that is in the chapter. I'm going to make a map which has all the topics there, so that when you later revise, it's all in one place. Yeah, you can go with the map. It's not like you're not confused what is there in the chapter, what is not there. Yeah. So in this chapter, triangles, we have one major concept which is being explored called similarity of triangles. Okay, this is a new concept. Don't write anything. I'll tell you. This is a new concept. We have touched a little bit upon this when we were doing which chapter? Trigonometry. Yes, we touched a little bit upon this. Okay, the concept of similarity of triangles. We just touched. We did not explore. We did not understand it completely, but we understood what it means. And just to remind you, like we had congruence. Congruence was two triangles which were exactly the same shape and size. In this chapter, we are going to explore, this was congruence. Okay, it was same shape as well as size. In this chapter, we're going to explore the concept of similarity, which is same shape but maybe not the same size. Okay, same shape, which means it looks exactly the same but not necessarily the same size. Okay, I don't know the spelling of necessary, but not necessarily the same size. This is the concept we are going to explore in depth in this chapter. Okay, the sequence in your textbook is a little confusing, so I am going to teach in a different sequence. We'll cover all topics, but some other topic first before we go to similarity. Okay, so here nothing to write right now. Okay, let's first make the chapter map. Okay, and then we will start a revision of whatever you have revised and come for today's class, which was everything in geometry from the last year. Ma'am, look at me now, or the screen. Okay, so here we have triangles. The first one whole section is similarity. Okay, similarity will have a lot of topics inside it. Okay, the first and very, you can start drawing now. Okay, the first and very simple topic is going to be like similarity of polygons. Obviously, the meaning which I just told you, that is there, and then it's similarity of polygons. This is of any polygon, not just a triangle. Okay, of polygons generally. Okay, that's one topic. It will have a couple of conditions, a small simple thing. Okay, and then comes similarity of, you can write the whole thing, similarity of triangles. Okay, now similarity of triangles ke andar you're going to have, like you had congruence, you had criterion. Can someone tell me how many criterion do you have? Yes, Bindu? 4 criterion. Can you name them quickly? Dilruba 1. Next one. Next one. Next one. Arches. Great. ASA can also be written as? Anyone? ASA can also be written as? Yeah? AAS, correct. Okay. Can we change SAS order? SAS, we cannot change. ASA, we can change the order. Any two angles are okay. Yeah. Just bring that in our minds. Yeah. That was in congruence. Right now, similarity of triangles will have only 3 conditions. Okay. 3 criterion, not conditions. So just like that criterion of congruence, we have in this, the first topic will be criteria of, because it's a plural, criteria of similarity. Okay, under criteria of similarity, we're going to have 3 criteria, that is triple A or double A. Okay, we will come to see that and then we'll understand why it's triple A or double A. Okay, the next one is triple S and the next one is SAS. These are going to mean something different from what it meant before, but we will see that as we go into. Yeah, we good? You with me? All right. So this is that. Okay, now actually your textbook and the syllabus generally, the portions contains the proof of these criterion also. Okay, but we are not going to go into that because it has been dropped from the syllabus last year. Same thing like we left cross multiplication method, like we left out what is that, completing the square method in quadratic equations. Just like that, we are going to skip out the proofs part, though the proofs are like amazing and it's fun to do, but we're going to skip them out because they are not, and they might almost take like one class each proof. Okay, so we're going to skip this out. If the syllabus gets confirmed and we feel that it's needed, we'll come back to it. Yeah, so that's similarity of triangles. And then you have in similarity of triangles, one was criteria of similarity, and the other topic is uh, areas of similar triangles. This is another fun topic, areas of similar triangles. Okay, under areas of similar triangles, you see there are some ratios and all of some further ratios. So this is like this is a major part of the chapter, yeah, of the chapter triangles. Now we'll move ahead. Give me a thumbs up if you're done copying. Okay, Asghar, MG, you done? MG, are you not able to give me an on-screen thumbs up? Okay, great. Thank you, Asghar. Hope you okay, fine, great. All right, now that was triangles. Now that was similarity of triangles. Now actually there is one topic which is put inside this only, but I'm not going to teach it inside that. I'm going to cover that and move into it. That's called, so in this there are some other theorems, okay, other than the similarity of triangle. There are other few theorems. We already know one famous theorem which is going to be in triangles chapter. What is that theorem, Mansa? Pythagoras theorem. That's going to be one, and obviously it's converse also. Okay, you remember converse? Can someone give me a quick example of converse, please? Dikshit, can you give me a quick example of converse of a statement and its converse? Any statement and its converse. Okay, take a minute to think. Anyone, you can raise your hands if you're ready. Yes, Dilruba? Both are same. Dilruba, it has to have a if and then clause. Then only you can make such a thing. Yeah, I think you're kind of remembering it, but if and then. It has to have that if and then part will change. What is causing what will change? Yes, Bindu? Okay. Perfect. Yeah, you're getting it. Asghar and MG repeating for you. So what Bindu said was, if it is raining today, then we won't go home. That's a straight, suppose it's statement A. Then the converse of that is, if we don't go home today, then it is raining. The if and then part get reversed. Okay, what is causing what gets reversed? Okay, if I beat Dinesh, he gets hurt. If Dinesh gets hurt, then Gaurav shall beat him. Okay, these are two different statements with very different meanings. Yeah, which are like meaning ulta. Yeah. Okay, so that's converse. So whatever theorem we study here, we are also going to have its converse. There are basically two things here, as far as I recall. So these two theorems are, one is obviously Pythagoras theorem plus its converse and converse. Okay, and then it's the basic proportionality theorem. You can write BPT for short right now, and its converse. Okay, basic proportionality theorem and its converse. Do we have anything else in the syllabus? Riza, have you done any other topics apart from this? Nakash? That's all? Okay, cool. So that's all. I want you to take this down. This is the map of your chapter, and everything that is in the chapter is contained here. Yeah? Yes. Just write BPT. When you write that, it's okay. It's the map only, right? Just write BPT. Yeah? Basic proportionality theorem. Okay. Let me write it for you. Basic proportionality theorem. Does this make sense? Okay, good. All right, you have a minute to take things down if anything, if there's anything that you need to. All right, I would like you to not write anything on that page further and go to the next page when we move ahead. Yeah. because if we have some topic, something important, we'll write that here. Okay. Now, where are we going to start? Okay. The textbook starts differently, the normal route, but I'm going to start a little differently. I'm going to go ahead and do this topic first, which is the basic proportionality theorem. Okay. There is a reason, we'll understand it later. Yeah. So I wanted to write down this heading in a fresh page, basic proportionality theorem. Okay. Fresh page heading, and then we are going to keep our pens down and relax, because we are going to take some time to revise what we know about triangles. Okay. Asghar and MG, if at any point you're finding things inaudible, you will have to unmute and speak. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if that instruction is clear for you. Okay, MG. Thank you, Asghar. Cool. So let's leave this aside for a minute now. Yeah, we are going to come to it. Right now, I want us to revise, to just think of everything that you know about triangles, that you remember from triangles in the last year. You can just raise your hand and start. You were asked to revise anything, whatever you want to start from. Yes, G. 1 point. Yeah. Midpoint theorem. Okay. We'll come to this. Anything else? Yes, Tulsi. There are 6 dash. Can you correct that word? 6 to your right. There are 6 what? Which are 3 sides and 3 angles. You're right about that. What is this called? You remember? Okay. No, good point though. What is this called? Can you complete Tulsi's point? Yeah. Elements. Okay. 6 elements. Okay. 6 elements, 3 sides, 3 angles. These are, when we talk about 3 angles, which angle are we talking about? Interior or exterior? We're talking about the interior angle. We good? Yeah. So 3 sides and 3 angles. Yeah. Anything else you remember about triangles? Someone else? Yes, Dinesh. Sum of the interior angles is 180 degrees. That is, what is it called? Is there an abbreviation for that? That's called a specific property. What is it called? Very commonly used, no? Nishya, can you complete that? Angles and property. Yeah. Angles and property, we use ASP very commonly. Yeah. Okay. What else do you remember about triangles? Anyone? Whatever you remember. Okay. It might be a small thing, minor thing. Go ahead, Riza. Very good. Exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the interior opposite angles, which is basically this particular angle is equal to the sum of this angle plus this angle. Can you give me what's its name? What's its name? Do you remember? Anyone remembers its name? It's called, yes, Nishay? Exterior angle property, EAP. Yeah, exterior angle property. All right. Anything else we remember about triangles? Anything else? Go ahead, Nishay. Triangles? Triangle is a 3-sided polygon. Very good. Triangle is the polygon which is possible with the least number of sides. Fantastic. Triangle is a 3-sided polygon. It's an example of polygon. Can you quickly define polygon then, someone? Can someone quickly define polygon then? Go ahead, Bindu. Simple closed curve. Fantastic. One more thing is missing. Made only of line segments. Made only of line segments. Okay. All right. This is just a quick revision. We're not writing anything. Okay. So simple closed curve made only of line segments. Mansa, can you tell me if this is a polygon or not? Why? Okay. Dilruba, can you tell me if this is a polygon or not? No. Is this a polygon or not? Why? It's not made up of a line segment. Okay. So can you give me the name of the polygon which has 10 sides? Shripriya? 10 sides. If a polygon has 10 sides, or anyone, whoever remembers it. Go ahead, Tulsi. Tetrahedron is a 3-dimensional figure. It's not correct. Tetrahedron is a 3-dimensional figure. Actually, you've seen pyramids. If you have a triangle on the base and you have a point at top and you connect everything, that shape is tetrahedron. So it's a three-dimensional figure. We are still in 2D in class 10. So that shape you might be recalling from science, right? Have you learned that shape in science? In maths, we learned a tetrahedron. Class 6. Okay, okay. All right. But what was my question? 10-sided polygon. Yes, Hemanji? Decagon. Yeah. These names are like should be very common to you right now. Okay. 4-sided polygon. Anyone? 4-sided polygon. Just square. General name. This is called what? Leave this. This is called what? Generally 4-sided polygon. Yeah, I know everyone knows. It's a quadrilateral, Shripriya. So there is a triangle, then there is quadrilateral, then there is pentagon, then there is hexagon, then there is septagon or heptagon, then there is octagon, nonagon, decagon. Okay, something you should know. It's not something which will be asked in 10 board exams, but it's like some ABCD in geometry, so should be there in your mind. Yeah, no problem. It happens. Relax. Okay, so we have. So this was polygon, and triangle is an example of a polygon. But why triangles? Why is the chapter triangles in our portion? Why not quadrilaterals? Quadrilaterals also not there. It was there last year. Even further important, why not any other polygon like pentagon, hexagon? Bigger polygons are there. Why they are not there? That's a fundamental question we must ask ourselves. Okay, only triangles is in our portion right now. Why do they think, the people who made the maths textbook, they're thinking that you don't need to study any other polygon, you just study triangles, that is enough? There is a reason behind that. Anyone has a thought? Yeah. Perfect, Dinesh. I'm going to give Dinesh 5 points here. What you are right, quadrilateral is made up of 2 triangles. Triangle is like a building block, like a brick, right? If you understand a triangle, you can understand a quadrilateral much easily. Okay, a lot of properties of quadrilaterals. To be proving those properties of quadrilaterals, you will be using properties of triangles. Okay, but even further, more fundamental, yes. Perfect, Riza. Okay, this is even more important. Okay, I mean, same thing, same point as yours, Dinesh, but she's generalizing your point. Riza is saying that not just a quadrilateral, you take any polygon, you take a hexagon. Okay, this is a 6-sided polygon. I can divide it into triangles by joining their diagonals. You see this, I have joined one diagonal, I have joined another diagonal, I have joined another diagonal. There is 1 triangle, 2 triangles, 3 triangles, 4 triangles making up this thing. Yeah. I mean, I can obviously, if I divide, I get there's scope of dividing further also, but just using diagonals and sides, I'm making it into four pieces. Yeah. So that's why the syllabus contains triangles. Okay. Like if you were to choose higher maths and if you were to study different shapes, different polygons or any other shapes, any polygon will have triangle as its building block. So to prove any properties of any of those polygons, you will need properties of triangles. Okay, that's why it's something they cover in 10th as a base. Okay, then you choose to go ahead or not. We good with that? Yeah. That is the importance of this particular chapter. Yeah. Now, moving on. Yeah. So anything else we remember about triangles from any other topic? Anything else we remember? Yes, Dikshit, go ahead. Fantastic, Dikshit. Wonderful observation. We cannot draw a diagonal. We cannot draw a diagonal in a polygon. Okay. Can you quickly also define, sorry, in a triangle, can you also quickly define what a diagonal is, Dikshit? Two vertices of a polynomial. Nomial is in algebra, pa. Poly what? Gone. Okay. So I want you to think about this also, Dikshit. It's not just any 2 diagonals, any 2 vertices, because If I join these two vertices, it will become a side. Opposite vertices, okay? Diagonal connects any two opposite vertices, which means non-adjacent vertices, okay? In you can say opposite easily in quadrilateral, but if I were to give you a hexagon or a pentagon, it will be confusing which is opposite, which is not, right? Basically, opposite is anything that is not adjacent, okay? That's how we go with this, okay? So here we have, this is a diagonal, this is a diagonal. There are two diagonals like this. We are dividing it into three triangles. There obviously more diagonals are possible. This is another diagonal, another diagonal. From any point you can join it to the two non-adjacent vertices, okay? All right. Yes. So MG has written, MG, you can raise your hands, bro. Yeah, you've written a lot of stuff. We just look over it. Interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degree, done. Area of a triangle he has written, which is half BH. Okay, so this is one more thing which is a very important thing. Area of a triangle, okay, is equal to half into base into height. Now we have spent hours understanding what a height means. Okay, I'm going to give this important question to you right now. Okay, so here we have this triangle. Okay, triangle ABC, and I'm going to join A to the midpoint of B. All right. My question: Can you write the area of this triangle formula by whatever you have on this area of triangle ABC? Can you write it in terms of the line segments that you are aware of, that is given on the screen? Anyone? I want you to, so for example, Tulsi, this is a rectangle, okay? A, B, C, D. If I were to ask you area of rectangle ABCD, you will tell me what? Area of rectangle ABCD, you will tell me what, Tulsi? Tell me rectangle area formula. Length into breadth. What is the length here? AB, or I can take CD also. So you will tell me AB into BC, right? This is length into breadth. This is length into breadth. Yeah, length into breadth. Okay, be good. Just like that, instead of using B and H, instead of using variables, I want you to use the base, what will come, and height, what will come. Okay, by whatever is given to you in the figure. Does my question make sense? Okay. Please note what information do we have right now? What information have I given to you till now in the question? I can't, you have to be louder. I think this is the midpoint of BC. Yeah. Okay. Anyone? Yes, Manisha. Perfect. Yeah, we do not have height. What we have right now, anyone who was thinking otherwise, pull your ears. Yes, Dilruba. Huh? I couldn't hear you.
What did you say, sir?
What did I say? I repeated what Manisha said. Manisha said that we do not have height. So we can choose any of this or this as base, but we need to have the height there, okay? And the figure right now is not giving us the height. What is it giving us? What is AM called? Yes, Dilruba? Median. AM is called the median. Median, can you quickly define, Dilruba, for everyone in the class? It joins the vertex to the opposite side, come midpoint. Okay, it joins the vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. Just to check, okay, the midpoint of AC is X. Okay, AX is joining the vertex A to midpoint of AC. Is it vertex? Is it median or not? Is it median or not? Yes, Tulsi? You think it is median? How many of you think it is median? Raise your hands. No one else thinks. So I think, Bindu, you'll have to refute what Tulsi is saying. Why do you think it's not median? You're getting this, Tulsi? It is joining, it has to join the opposite side. It has to not join. This AC is adjacent to A. You're getting me, Tulsi? Adjacent means bagal mein, next to it. Yeah. So AC is right here. It is adjacent to A. It is not a median. Okay. So I mean, this won't be a median. It has to join the opposite side, which is here. Okay. Same way, if we join from B, it has to join the opposite side here. Okay. BX maybe. Yeah, that will be the median. But this thing BY will not be the median. Are we good? It will just be like half of some side. Okay. Now let's. So coming back to our original question, what Dilruba said. Okay. What Manisha said. Here we cannot write AM. If you are thinking that, just like remove that from your system. Okay, you cannot write BC into AM. Okay, this will be wrong because AM is a median. What do you need to write? You need height, or what is the alternative word for this, Dinesh? In place of height, what is the word that you use? Altitude. Okay, altitude. Guys, everyone try shouting when you speak. Yes. Okay, great. So what is special about an altitude? How do we draw an altitude? Can someone quickly recap that? Let's hear from Mansa. Yeah. It is 90 degrees. You're right. From where to where? Can we talk about that also? From vertex to dash. Opposite angle, I'm not clear about that. A is a vertex. Opposite angle means what? What is that? Hey, what is that called in a polygon? Oh, side. Okay, good. So from A, you have to draw a perpendicular to BC. That will give you the height. Okay, this is not perpendicular. In some cases, median and altitude may overlap. Okay, that will happen particularly in isosceles triangles or in equilateral triangles, because in an isosceles triangle, median will be this only and altitude will also be this only. Okay, this will just happen. We have proved this in the last year. Not going into that. It's not a theorem, so you don't have to remember also, but it's good. It will be useful in competitive exam, okay, generally. But right now, we need to understand what an altitude is. An altitude comes from this. Okay, from this it drops perpendicular here. Okay, it drops here. Okay, altitude is basically height. So in case I'm sitting like this, my height is only till here, right? My height is only till here. But if I were to stand up, my height is going to be till this point, which is the perpendicular line from the base till my head. Yeah, I sit like this, perpendicular height till the base till my head. But if I were to bend down here, my height is till this point, which means my perpendicular is going to drop from here to the floor. Okay, it's not going to be the length of my body or the length of my torso. Yeah, it's going to be from wherever the top point is to the bottom. Yeah, just reminding you about altitude here. Now going back to this discussion, this is our altitude. Okay, we have seen earlier, if we have an obtuse triangle, the altitude will lie outside. Yeah, this will be the altitude. Not going into that again. Yeah, be good with this. Yeah, two of these altitudes will lie outside. Actually, this is one altitude. If I were to draw, so just drawing the other two altitudes in this triangle also. So from here, this might be the altitude. I don't know if it's perpendicular. And from here, this might be the altitude. Okay. In a right triangle, here altitude is clear. This is altitude. But I wanted to think about PQR. What is the altitude from PQ to QR? P to QR. What is the altitude from P to QR? Yes, Dikshit. Along the line PQ. Okay. If I were to draw perpendicular, it will be the same thing, right? So altitude will be the same thing in this as the side, okay, as the side PQ. All right. For which you should see it's always in combination. Yeah. Altitude and base goes hand in hand. Okay. So which altitude you're talking, you have to talk about which base also. Okay. So if you're talking about altitude PQ, altitude is PQ, then base is what? QR. Okay. Same way, if altitude is QR, then base is what? Think if this is the altitude, if this is the height, then you have to imagine the ground being here. Okay, this is the ground. You think that ground is here, I'm standing like this. You're getting this? This is the direction which the triangle is standing. Okay. The altitude becomes this thing. This is altitude, then this is base. PQ is base. Are we good? Everyone comfortable with this? Anyone feeling like a little lost? Give me a like. Yes. You're 5. Anyone feeling a little lost? Shripriya, how do you feel? You good? Okay. Full yes. Sleepy? Little bit sleepy? Okay. What happened? Now also you're not talking, you're in front of me. Okay. Cool. So this was one more deviation into altitude and base. And why? Because we need that to understand when we talk about area of triangle. Yeah. Again, just to one thing which we left was obtuse triangle ho gaya agar, if we have an obtuse triangle, something like this, okay. Now I'm going to write, I want someone to write, okay, this is my altitude, okay. So let this be x, y, z is a triangle, and let this be p. I want you to write the formula of area of triangle x, y, z is equal to, Nishchay, can you complete this? In half into basis pz, Nishchay is saying. Can you just to see? YZ, P is not a part of the triangle. P is outside the triangle. Yeah. The triangle is XYZ. The triangle is this part. Okay. In this case, the altitude is lying outside. So half into base is YZ. Nishchay, what is the altitude? XP. Okay. Are we good? Everyone okay with this? So this is base. This is the altitude. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Moving ahead. Okay. All right. Anyone else remembers anything else? MG and Asgar, if you're saying, I would encourage you to like unmute and speak, because if you're sending private message, it won't be private. The screen is shared. Tell me, is there something which you remember? I will not check the chat, MG. You just unmute and tell before Manisha I said he's saying. Okay. Anyone? Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Anything else you remember about triangles? Okay. Let's hear from. Yes. Tell me, Riza. Very, very important result. Okay. In an isosceles triangle. So these are two results about isosceles triangles. Okay. Asgar, are you paying attention? We spent around 2-3 hours discussing this in class 8, not with you guys, with Asgar, I mean. So what happens is, if we have an isosceles triangle, okay, let's not look at this is typical, let's look at this isosceles triangle, okay. Now in this isosceles triangle, supposing AMC, okay, supposing AM is equal to MC, okay, isosceles triangle has two sides equal, that's by definition isosceles triangle. Then the angles which are opposite to these two sides, which is just a second, which is angle A, which is opposite to this side, that is MC, and angle C, which is opposite to AM. Okay, these two angles will also be equal. Dinesh, you want to stand up for a minute? Wake yourself up. Yeah, these two angles will also be equal. We good? Yeah. See, the definition of an isosceles triangle, I mean, you can identify an isosceles triangle by either of these two things. If you have two equal sides, then also it is isosceles triangle. You don't know about the sides, but you know there are two equal angles. That is enough. Okay? Because if there are two equal angles, then the side which is opposite will be equal to it, which will be equal to each other. Are we good? This is two equal angles. Okay, either way you can tell that a triangle is isosceles. So this is also an important result. Isosceles triangle may equal sides are opposite to equal angles. There is anything else you remember about triangles? Anything else you remember about triangles from earlier? Yes, Mansa. In equilateral triangle, all angles are 60 degree. Okay, all angles are 60 degree. Perfect. All right, actually, these two are related to one more very important property. Yes, waiting for that property. Scalene triangle ka definition you remember. Okay, scalene triangle is when all three are different, right? Okay. Anything else we remember? Asghar, MG, you remember anything else? Raise your hands if you want to speak, or just unmute and speak. I don't mind. Hear you. Anyone? There are a couple of other important things. It was there in last year's notes. Yeah. Louder, louder. Okay. Okay, great. All right. Actually, right triangle, all will not be interior. Two will be on the triangle, no? Yeah. But good enough. Yeah. Okay, so he's talking about where the altitude will fall, just what we talked just now, but in clearer terms. Anything else you remember about triangles? I'll give you a minute. You want to? Anyone has your older notebook? You want to check? Note down. Asghar, MG, open to you also. Probably you are the only ones who have older textbooks. More? Yes, tell. Triangle inequality. That's an entire topic which we have not touched. What is triangle? What do you know about inequalities? Inequalities in a triangle. This is super important. Okay, it's something we had not spent a lot of time, but we had touched it, like just to understand the meaning of this in 8th class also and 9th class also. Anyone who like to explain? Yeah. That's the first property. There are 2-3 things inside this. So this the first thing is, go ahead, Bindu. If I add any two sides, AB plus BC, it will pakka be greater than the third side, AC. Okay. Otherwise, it will not form a triangle. All right. So if someone asks you, will the following line segments form a triangle? Okay, this is the question. Will the following line segments form a triangle? If I have AB as 3 centimeter, BC as 3 centimeter, and AC as 7 centimeter, will it form a triangle or not? Anyone? Quickly, yes, Dinesh? They will not form a triangle. Dinesh is saying why? Perfect. If we add AB and BC, okay? If I add AB and BC, okay? So this is 3 centimeter. This is 3 centimeter. But your third side, AC, is actually 7 centimeter, which means if this is longer, there's no way this can form a triangle. Okay? This will not form a triangle. Same way, you can think it otherwise also. You can think of it as like AC is already 7 centimeter. Okay, this 7 centimeter. Okay, I'm going to try to join AB and BC. Even if I bring it very close, here also if I lie, there will be 1 centimeter gap between them. You're getting me? So A, B, but this B dash will never come on that B because it's smaller, right? This is 3 centimeter, this is 3 centimeter. There'll be a gap. So a triangle, to form a triangle, you need to have 3 line segments which satisfy this criteria. Okay, any two sides. Okay, every single time we take any two, so it's not just AB and BC. Obviously, if I take AC and BC, it should be bigger than AB when added. Yeah, that's inequalities. First inequality, first very important inequality. There's one more inequality. Yes, Bindu. There's one more inequality. Anyone? One more very important result, which has to do with this, which angle is opposite to which side. Riza, do you remember? No. Asghar, do you remember? Okay, I'll take this up. So suppose now we have a triangle. Say this, okay? Let this be angle 1, 2, and 3. Let this be side A, B. Let's write opposite. Let this be side A, B, and C. Okay. Yes, tell me, Dinesh. You remember? Whom you Perfect. Yeah. Which angle is greatest? Okay. So angle 1 is greatest here. Which angle is greatest? The side opposite will also be longest. Okay. Basically, it's kind of okay. 1 second. Give me a. All right. So, like Dinesh is saying, the greater the angle, if angle 1 is the greatest angle, then side A has to be the longest side. Okay, I've just marked a small a. That's not how we usually do it. Okay. Then suppose angle 2 is the next biggest angle. Okay. Then angle B will be the next longest side. And if angle 3 is the smallest angle, then C will be the smallest side. Okay. And vice versa also. Suppose I don't know about the angles, but I know that XY is the smallest side. Okay. Then I can say for sure that angle Z will be the smallest angle. Are we good with that? Yeah. This is another very important result in inequalities which you should know. Okay. I'm just going to write it briefly here. If angle 1 is greater than angle 2 and greater than angle 3, basically this implies this also implies this. So A is going to be greater than B is going to be greater than C. Okay. If you know this, if you know just this much, then you can say this also. Okay. If you know that 3 is greater than 1, you can say that C will be greater than A. Okay. Following this, is this going overhead for anyone? No, we good. All right. Anything else we remember about triangles? Let's go to what G had told earlier. MPT, midpoint theorem. This is another important result which we need to know. Midpoint theorem. G, you want to tell what the midpoint theorem is? Do you remember the midpoint theorem? You can say no if you don't remember. Yeah? No? Nishchay? Dinesh, can I have your attention here? Yeah, tell me. You remember the midpoint theorem? And anyone other than Rizwa remembers? Durga, thinking? Okay. Mansa and Dulce remember? Let's hear from Mansa. Yeah. Middle line is not there, ma. Parallel line, yeah. Okay. Dinesh, sir, what are you doing? You're recapping? Good, good. Yeah. Yes, tell me. But volume low, please. Yes. I'm drawing a parallel line to what? Let me label this A, B, C. Yes, tell me. For BC, I'm drawing a parallel line. Yes. In the middle of the triangle, exactly the middle. Okay. This is the parallel line. Let's call it L. Tell me, what will it do? What will this parallel line do? Yeah. Tell me, Mansa. I have drawn a parallel line. What does it do? You're right so far. Remember what happens after that? Anyone else remembers? Yes, Riza, tell me.
Sir,
Hmm.
take that like here we have this.
Okay, so actually it's a little reverse here. Yeah, it's a little reverse here. We don't yet know. So let me tell you, in the midpoint theorem, we don't know that the line is parallel. Okay, it's a conclusion which we are drawing. Okay, this is a theorem. I'm going to Asghar and MG. Can you see the new screen now? Asghar and MG, can you see the new screen now? Okay, are you seeing this? The textbook on the screen. Okay, so here we have so this is theorem. Okay, the line segment joining the midpoints, this is given to you. Okay, which means you know that E and F are midpoints of AB and AC. Okay, the line segment joining the midpoints automatically, this is not something which you have done, but automatically they will become parallel to the third side. A They will become parallel to the third side. Second. This and this will become parallel. We have not drawn it parallel. Okay, that was not our intention. All we did was we took midpoint here, we took midpoint here, and we joined it. Okay, it will automatically become. This is a theorem. It says that it will automatically become parallel to BC, and it will become half of BC. Okay, that's not written here, but we studied that, right? And is half of it. This is and is half of it. Yeah, this is an important, very important result. Okay, and the converse is also true. Okay, by the what is the converse now? Okay, now in this statement, just I'm going to in the interest of time, I'm going to think out how I'm thinking converse myself. Okay, when anyone of you is feeling sleepy, feel free to stand up. Okay, so here. Okay, so here we have in this midpoint theorem, this is the midpoint theorem. Okay, the line segment joining the midpoints of the two sides, this is given to you. Midpoints are there, it is joining that, it is given to you. Okay, then you are getting what? It is parallel to third side and half of it. Okay, this is the to prove part, or you can say this is the then part. Okay, but for the converse, it's going to be reverse, it's going to be ulta of this. Okay, it's going to do that in a minute. So this is the converse. Yeah, it is telling you that you have a triangle. It is giving you one midpoint, and it's saying you are drawing a line through this midpoint which is parallel to the other side. Okay, no, a line drawn to the midpoint is parallel to the other side. This part is given. Okay, so you're saying L is parallel to BC, and it is saying that AE is equal to EB. Okay, basically it's the E is the midpoint, but it's not saying anything about that this is the midpoint or not. Okay, but it happens that this will become the midpoint. Okay, it's like a conclusion. So ends up bisecting it ends up bisecting this into two equal parts. Be good? Okay, this is the converse of midpoint theorem. All right, these both theorems actually they will no longer be important when we study the basic proportionality theorem. I mean, basic proportionality theorem will eat this theorem up. By that I mean that it will say a statement that this theorem becomes like a subset of that. Okay, but nonetheless, it's good to recall. Yes, Tulsi, go ahead. But what we need to know also is that L is parallel to BC. Okay, you know this thing. L is parallel to BC also, you know, and you know E is midpoint of AC. Tell me. It will work in any triangle of the world, Tulsi. That's why we proved it, right? It's going to work in any triangle of the world once we have proved it. We have taken a general triangle. We did not take equilateral, isosceles, or scalene, anything like that, right? To prove this theorem, we took any triangle in the world, and the proof should be there. I don't think we proved this one, right? We probably skipped this proof last year. I don't know. Basically, this has a proof, and it is applicable for any triangle in the world. Okay. Yeah, same goes for midpoint theorem. Unless and until there is a theorem which explicitly states, like in an isosceles triangle, angles opposite to equal sides are equal. That time it is talking about isosceles triangle. Otherwise, if it's just saying triangle, it is about every triangle in the world. Okay, we good. All right. Okay, so we are going to come back. Is there anything else you remember about triangles? Midpoint theorem and its converse. Yes, Riza. Right triangle, you remember Pythagoras theorem, definitely. Anything else? From any other chapter, you remember something related to triangles? I even mentioned it yesterday. Tell me, what do you remember in APT? Yes, sir. Same base. Little louder, last part I missed. And between the same parallels, yes. The triangle is half. A triangle, what is half? What of the triangle is half? Triangle is half what? What? Something of that, some quantity of that triangle is half. What is it? Correct, you're right, on the right track. Yes, tell Dikshit, complete Marisha's area of the triangle. Yeah. So suppose I have this as a parallelogram here. Okay. Let xy be the base. ER. Okay. Now same base between the same parallels. You need to understand what between the same parallels mean. Okay, that's an important part. Okay. That chapter has nicely conceptualized it, but has not taken effort to make you understand. So we'll just see. Okay, between the same, I'm going to draw a triangle. Okay. Can someone tell me what's the formula for area of parallelogram? Area of parallelogram formula. Anyone knows? Yes, Diksha. Base into height. What is the formula of area of triangle? Half into base into height. Okay, this is something which is going to play on here. Please, yeah. Okay, this is something which is going to play on here. What's going to happen? See, it's important to understand base is same. Already we know. Okay, base is same. We already know xy is same. Okay, in the triangle. Triangle, let this be AXMY, triangle XMY, and parallelogram ERYX. Okay, base is same. We already know. Height is same or not is important. We will see that. Okay, if it is in between two parallels, the height will also be same, and I'm going to show that to you in a minute. So if I draw perpendicular here, yeah, this is height for the triangle. If I draw perpendicular here, this is height for the parallelogram. Yeah, let this be P, this be Q. Okay. Can you give me a reason why MP should be equal to EQ? Yes, Riza?
Because we are
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. these two triangles are parallel, then the distance, which is always measured by the perpendicular distance only, that will always be same, right? And that is only forming the height of triangle MXY and the quadrilateral ERYX. Okay, both the height is what? It is the distance between the two parallels. We good? Once, are you following? Okay, so these both are equal because distance between parallel lines, by definition, the distance should be same, right? That's the definition of parallel lines. It's an axiom. Distance between parallel lines is always same. Okay. Actually, you should write perpendicular distance between parallel lines also. So finally, you get this also here. Yeah, the area of a triangle is equal to half of the area of a parallelogram which has the same base and the same height, or the same base and between same parallels. We good? When we say between same parallels, we mean it has same height. This is something which we had talked last year. Okay, not something which is explicitly talked about in your book, but an important understanding, right, to be able to appreciate the formula. Yeah, that's something which is here. Okay, all right. That was areas of parallelogram and triangle. Any other result in this? Any other result in this chapter only? Yes, Mansa. Another parallelogram. Okay, you're going to the parallel. Okay, fine. Let me draw another parallelogram. Here it is. Let this be FG. Yes. EXF will be equal to RYG. Area, you mean? Correct. But why did you ask me to draw a parallelogram for that? Oh, good, good. You're right about this. This is a separate proof. Okay, this is another. This might be a question in your textbook. But basically, what is the shape you're talking about here? What is this shape? You're talking about two triangles which have the same dash and same dash. Let me draw that. They are not. Yeah, they are congruent. That's why they are having the same area. You're right about that too, Mansa. But think about this. Okay, we earlier had this triangle. Okay, if I take any other triangle with same base and between same parallels, which means it has same height. Okay, if I take any other triangle, let me take this triangle. Okay, so focus on triangle XYM and triangle XFY. Okay, or XYF, anyway you want to write it. Yeah, what can you? Yes, tell me, MG.
Sir, he wants you to let him in, sir.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I didn't get it on the screen. Yeah, admitted him. Yeah. Okay, so that's which it means these two have the same base and the same height. So, Deepak, can you conclude what I'm going to say? They will have the same area. Okay, if a triangle has the same base, two triangles have the same base and the same height, then they will have the same area, which in your textbook it is written like this: same base and between same parallels. Okay, between same parallels, for what we are saying, it means it is same height. Okay, yeah, probably we have covered everything, right? I think. Yeah, anything else we're missing? Anyone thinks you're missing something? So that was the areas of parallelograms and triangle chapter that had two important results which will be applicable in this chapter also. Okay. Yeah. So we are at 14:44. We have another half an hour class. I would like you to take a couple of minutes break. If you want to use the washroom and come. Drink water. Break for a couple of minutes. Asghar and MG, we are taking a break for a couple of minutes. Yeah.